Hi, Miss Johnson. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good, good. Thank you so much for joining the Geek Academy interview today. Today we're going to discuss our hidden figures, and you have been selected to be our hidden figure gem for the week.
Thank you so
Right?
much. It's my pleasure to be here.
Absolutely, absolutely. I won't take too much of your time today. However, I do want to interview you regarding some questions for young women who may be in STEM currently or heading into the IT industry. And I got some questions that I want to ask you in regards of that, and kind of just get like a really good sense of who you are and pretty much how you got to where you're at today. So let's begin with just giving me a little bit of background, if you will, about yourself and where you currently work in industry.
Okay, thank you so much. And it's my pleasure again, as I said earlier, to be here. Arriving at Winston-Salem State in 1979, computer science major. It was very technical then, very mathematic centric during those days, if you will. A lot of Fortran, COBOL, PL1, all of that. So I got my formal education there at old SU. And before I left, I interviewed with the placement center and landed a job at Burlington Industries. But before that, because I know that's part of your discussion today, I did an internship with then Wachovia as a programmer. So that definitely prepared me for the industry. And upon graduation, I worked there for a few years until I relocated from Greensboro to Charlotte and started with the Xerox Corporation. And ironically, those were the two jobs that I've had all my life, Burlington Industries in Greensboro, and I am still a programmer, if you will, but I manage those technical people with Xerox. And I've been there longer, as I've said before, than you and most people have been born. I've been there 32 years, and the industry has changed, but it's still exciting. Although I'm not a total programmer, working with programmers, systems analysts, coders, mainframe, client-based type of applications is still very exciting. So that's what I do today. I work for Xerox Corporation.
Okay, it sounds exciting too. Thank you so much for sharing that. And you have been in the game longer than I've been born. I was,
Yes.
yeah.
I
So
started when I was 16. That's why
16. Wow. Okay.
not really, but I'm just kidding.
So let's talk about trajectory real quick. How has the game changed or evolved, either like in regards to either in the office or for the end user, since you become a major player in this field?
So from a perspective of office, everything is virtual.
Mm.
From an office in Charlotte that was the hub for major deals and clients and being the banking industry, we had an office full of employees from sales to support services and things like that. My people were always in the field, the people that I manage today, but we no longer have an office. Everyone is virtual.
Mm.
So that is the biggest change from a personnel perspective. And then just meeting and supporting our clients. We can help them remotely, logging in, as you well know, from whatever their needs are. But there are still some tasks that have to be in person. And so the biggest change I see is doing a lot more virtual, not as much interaction from a team perspective, getting together and that camaraderie.
Right.
So those would be the biggest changes that I've seen.
Okay. Excellent. Where do you see it going like 3 to 5 years from now?
Oh, I think it will stay just that way, that it will always trend towards virtual. The day of offices and getting together, I don't think it will be that way. It may be, as it is now, a pod to come in and you have to do certain things. but virtual reality is real. Supporting our customers, and in this pandemic world, I don't think it'll ever go back to normal. So definitely in the virtual realm, 3 to 5 years, if not beyond.
Right, right. Agreed. Let's talk about let's shift to preparation a little bit. Is there a significant advantage to like the formal education versus the YouTube university that people are now like really pushing, or the ads to learn the industry from like the Facebook view?
Okay, so although I'm a little old school,
Mhm.
I think there's value in both, but there's so much more that you can get from a formal education, being on campus, working with your peers, learning from your peers, learning one-on-one with your instructors, if indeed you are at a university or community college that has that option for you to be in a smaller classroom. I know some universities are huge, but it's still something to be in a formal setting. Online is fine. The YouTube is fine, because talent is talent. But I personally and professionally think that you gain a lot more from interaction with your peers and those professionals that are teaching you.
Okay, okay. Thank you. That's a great answer. That's a great answer. I think that's really beneficial for our audience, especially young women that's shifting into STEM. They're trying to figure out what is the best way to learn
Yeah.
to get into this industry.
And they can complement each other. They can actually
Yeah,
coexist.
right, right. I definitely use YouTube as a guide. A lot of third-party websites for my personal learning as well, outside of the formal education way.
Right. I know
Um,
I have 2 young adults. They're both college graduates, HBCUs. And I know my daughter, whether it's something educational for her preparation for her upcoming career, or personal, whether it's hair, cosmetics, or whatever, YouTube is definitely a vehicle for that. And
oh
it
yeah.
gives other people that don't have the options for formal education a channel to
Mhm.
um, give exposure for their skills and services. So,
Absolutely, absolutely. And see, you hit it right on the head. Since you're talking about students in college, let's shift to internships. How important is internships?
oh, I think it's critical. I think it definitely is one of the stepping stones to preparing a student for real life, if you will.
Mm,
It's like a trial run. It's you learned where your strengths and weaknesses are.
right.
You learn how to be an individual contributor as well as a team player. So I think mentors, that's where you can pick up your first mentors and everything. So
Mm,
it's very much a valuable tool or stepping stone to prepare someone for their career or their next step after school.
okay. And you mentioned the word mentor. How does someone go about finding one, or trying to get one?
Okay. I know within Xerox, we actually have a program that's set up for that, to match you through assessments and things like that, to see what your interests are, how they match up to someone. So there could be some formal program within the company that you work with, but it's simple as, if there's someone that you know, or someone that is doing something that you are interested in a profession, or you've observed them exhibiting those skills that you would like to strengthen. It's simple as approaching that person. I mean, you want to make sure you have your ducks in a row, if you will, that you've
Right,
done your research,
right.
but a formal request to them, and an introduction to them, and telling them about you, and letting them know and asking them, would you be my mentor, and giving them a business case, if you will, as to why you want them and what you can give and learn from them.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much for providing the information. So, because I run across that a lot. A lot of people, young adults, into college or breaking into college from high school. or even a 2-year technical. They're moving and they're transitioning into new stages, and they don't really know or have these things in place with mentorship and guidance, along with shifting their education. So I just wanted to make sure that it's important for them to understand that they can ask or be familiar with a program like Xerox and try to find that leadership there, that leadership component. Speaking of leadership component, you've been a part of the Hidden Figures event before. You sat on the panel. You did such a great job previously that we had to come back and do it twice. Right? So, but but this time we're doing it more on a virtual standpoint, so we can reach more of a strong woman empowerment piece. What do you tell the aspiring students who may want to follow in your path?
Just never ever give up. Just a little backdrop, and I know I'm not alone in this, but the first of 7 to go off to college, no real financial support, just a lot of love and emotional support, and going to college and just knowing that you have to always do your very best, no matter what stumbles you may take or obstacles that come in your way. Keep fighting as a woman in science and math and the STEM industry, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Don't give up. You are as capable, if not more, than anyone around you. So always keep your goals high and aim for the highest goals that you set for yourself. I'm just one that would always fight for, and I don't mean that in any derogatory manner, but just knowing that I had my family, I had my friends that were there for me, and I wanted to make my parents proud, and I wanted to do well. I just naturally wanted to do well. So just set your goals, prepare for the careers that you set for yourself, do the research, and just keep doing the very best that you can.
Okay.
Just never give up.
I 100% agree. And you mentioned something really important at the end, their career goals, right? What would be some of the inevitable components that they may face in this particular career path within STEM?
Oh, well, for one, women are growing in STEM, obviously. I think about some of the outstanding folks that are there. I had the pleasure and a personal friend just to know Joan Higginbotham, who's one of the Black female astronauts. Pick someone that you admire. Just, you will always have obstacles, whether it's a male peer or another female peer, or just the establishment or just the corporate game. Whatever those things that you can't necessarily see will be there. But if you set your goal, if you get the knowledge to do the task at hand, there's nothing that can stop you if you are prepared. Mm-hmm. It may push you back, it may delay it, but if you are prepared and you have the intellectual know-how, you will get there. So set them, put timelines on them, be prepared for any delays or setbacks, but keep pushing forward. And have those honest mentors that will give you feedback to let you know where you might need to improve upon. So just keep going. That's all I can say.
So having that timeline that you're talking about and that mentorship component, if you infuse those two together, how does that help you with your work-life balance, your lifestyle?
So I'm a go-getter anyway, and I have just as much going, if not more, on the personal side from my Greek organization to
which is
There's only one, Delta
Okay,
Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. And I love my other Greek sisters, so we all
of
do that in
course.
fun and love. Uh, and my daughter just became my soror about a year ago, and my
Okay,
husband's in Omega, and so we're a Greek family. And my son, he didn't pledge, but he's in the military. He's an airman. Um, so we have our commitments from church to the Greek organization, even within Xerox, the Black Women's Leadership Council. I'm in that. I'm active in that. I'm one of the directors in that. So it's very fulfilling to serve others. The Links Incorporated, I'm in that. So I take that as seriously as I do my professional career. I'm a leader there outside work and within work. So I balance it. I know how important both are to me. Family, God, and serving others is definitely critical to who I am. And I just try to balance it as best I can.
I think that's beautiful. I think that's great. I think that's important if people understand the work-life balance and how important that is.
Yeah.
Not only while you're still accomplishing your goals.
Mhm.
What does innovation mean to you, and how important is it?
Innovation is always looking for something different, new, exciting, creative, reinvention, motivating. Innovation is just living, if you will, thriving,
Hmm.
creating. It's just a lot of different adjectives, but it's always moving,
Absolutely.
keep
Yes.
growing,
Yes.
moving and growing.
I always
Innovation.
look at it the agile format where you're
Yeah.
failing but failing fast.
Yes.
Um, so we got one more question because we're running out of time
Okay.
here. What does it mean to be a leader to you, and how do you display leadership?
It's walking the walk and talking the talk. It's all of those cliches all built into one. But me, I've been a leader for the last 10 years, and I'm actually leading my peers. We were
Okay.
all one team, and then I became their leader. And, sometimes it's not a big difference between leading and managing, but to be a leader, you have to bring people with you. You have to
Hmm.
develop people as well. It's not just about you getting the glory, but it's about you and your team reaching those same goals that you may have individually, but
Hmm.
also with your team, and making it's the parts, all of the parts coming together. But to me, being a good leader, and when they do recognize that, it's because I've helped motivate my team members to be the best that they can be, and even sometimes letting them go and do other things so that they can grow and flourish. So for me, being a leader is not just thinking about me, but thinking about all the folks that um, are on my team and making them as successful as I am and
I think that's
contributing to the
great. Wow.
corporation.
Wow. That's great.
And by the way, we've been the number one team in the last 3-4 years too. So that
Really, let's
helps.
clap that up. Let's clap that up. Yeah. Yeah. And when you do that, there are perks like bonuses and stuff like that. So hey,
Yeah,
great work.
absolutely.
I think you're doing a
Absolutely.
phenomenal job leading in the industry, not just as a woman, but just as a person in STEM.
Mhm.
And I think you're definitely on the right path to keep motivating young women in this particular pathway, and just continue to let them know that IT is everywhere now, and it's not
Yeah,
just in one spot. So
right.
yeah, anything you wanna say at the end, shout outs or anything
Well,
like that, or words of wisdom?
always shouting out to my Grammarly. I love you all. I'm so proud of being a graduate of Winston-Salem State University, and it truly is a major component to who I am and what I've become, from that little girl that came from Asheboro, North Carolina in 1979, and and made it through, and even serving as Miss Alumni 2018, that was a great honor as well. So I will always
Congratulations.
support my school, and I love each and every one of you. And thank you, Dr. Morris, for everything that you've done and what you continue to do to bring, to highlight those hidden figures in the STEM industry. So thank you so much for all you do.
Thank you. I appreciate it. We the Geek family would definitely
Yes.
be most appreciative with your support, and you've been a big supporter from day one. So thank you so much for your time. I thank you for allowing us to conduct this interview, and you're going to inspire a lot of young women come this week. So
Well, thank you. It's my pleasure.
all
My
right.
pleasure.
Thank you. You have a
Bye-bye.
good bye-bye. Have a good one. Don't forget to be the geek.
All right. Always.